making English easy for everyone.
Speak English with Jay and May.
Hey, English learners! Welcome back to Speak English with Jay and May, your cozy little place to build your English confidence. I'm May.
Hello, May, and hello, everyone. I'm Jay. How are you today, May?
I'm doing great, Jay. Actually, I'm feeling really excited today.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Because today's topic is something you use every single day, even right now, in this exact moment.
Wait, right now? What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Right now, I am talking. You are listening. We are having a conversation. See that pattern?
Oh, you mean like am, is, are plus a verb with ing?
Exactly. That's the present continuous tense, and today we're diving deep into it.
I'm so excited. I always get confused about when to use this one.
Don't worry, by the end of this episode, it's going to feel super natural to you.
Okay, wait, before we start, I have to say something real quick.
Go ahead, Jay.
If you enjoy listening to our podcast, please hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on notifications. It really helps us keep going.
Aw, thank you for that, Jay. Okay, now let's jump into today's deep dive.
Let's go. So, May, where do we even start with this tense?
Let's start with the basic shape of it. It's actually very simple. You take am, is, or are, and add a verb with ing at the end.
Like, I am eating.
Perfect example. I am eating. She is walking. They are studying. See the pattern?
Yeah, so I goes with am, he, she, it goes with is, and we, you, they goes with are, right?
You got it. You're a fast learner, Jay.
Thanks, May. Okay, but here's my question. When do we actually use this tense? Like, what's the real purpose?
Great question. Number one, we use it for actions happening right now, in this exact second.
Oh, like what we're doing right now, talking.
Exactly. We are recording a podcast right now. That's happening at this very moment.
That makes sense. What's the second use?
Wait, here's the interesting part. We also use this tense for things that are temporary, even if they're not happening this exact second.
Temporary. You mean like something that's not permanent?
Exactly. For example, I am living with my brother this month. Maybe I'm not living with him right now at this second, but during this period of time, it's true.
Oh, so it's not just right now this second, it can be right now this month or right now this year.
Yes, you're understanding it so well. Let me give you a personal example. A few years ago, I was between apartments and I told my friends I am staying at my cousin's place for now.
Right, because it wasn't forever, it was just for that period.
Exactly. If I said I live at my cousin's place, that sounds permanent. But I am staying tells people, hey, this is temporary.
That's such a small difference, but it changes the whole meaning.
It really does. English is full of these small details that carry big meaning.
Okay, what's the third use? You said there's more, right?
Yes, and this is where things change a little, so listen carefully.
I'm listening.
We can also use present continuous to talk about the future, especially for plans and arrangements that are already fixed.
Wait, what? Present tense for the future? That sounds confusing.
I know it sounds strange, but let me explain with an example. Imagine you already bought your plane ticket and you already know your flight time.
Okay, I'm imagining it.
Now imagine your friend asks you, what are you doing this weekend? You would say, I am flying to Singapore this weekend.
Oh, because it's already planned. It's not just an idea, it's already arranged.
Exactly. That's the key difference. If it's just an idea in your head, we usually use a different structure. But if it's already fixed, like a ticket is bought, a meeting is scheduled, we use present continuous.
You mean like, I'm meeting my manager tomorrow at 9 a.m.?
Perfect example, because that meeting is already on the calendar. It's already confirmed.
Wow, okay, my brain is expanding right now.
That's a great sentence, by the way. My brain is expanding right now. That's present continuous too.
Oh my gosh, you're right. I just used it without even thinking.
See, it's already becoming natural for you.
Okay, wait, can we talk about signal words? Like, are there certain words that tell us, hey, use present continuous here?
Yes, great question. There are some words that almost always appear with this tense.
Tell me.
Words like now, right now, at the moment, currently, these days, nowadays.
So if I hear at the moment, I should think am, is, are plus ing?
Exactly. For example, at the moment, I am learning how to cook. Or, these days, more people are working from home.
Oh, that second one is interesting. These days isn't really right now this second, right?
You're paying close attention. That's actually another use for trends and changes happening around us over a period of time.
You mean like something that's slowly changing little by little?
Exactly. For example, the world is becoming more digital. That's not happening in 1 second. It's a gradual change happening over months and years.
Oh, that's such a smart way to describe change. I never thought about it that way.
English speakers use this a lot when talking about society, technology, climate, all kinds of changing situations.
Okay, I have to be honest, May. I'm starting to feel like this tense is more flexible than I thought.
You're exactly right. It's not just right now this second. It's right now this second, right now this period, right now as a confirmed future, and right now as a slow change.
My mind is blown. Okay, but I have a tricky question now.
Go ahead, ask me anything.
Are there any verbs that we cannot use with this tense? Like, does it work with everything?
Ooh, great question. And this is actually one of the most important parts of today's episode.
Wait, why? What's special about it?
Because there's a group of verbs called stative verbs, and normally we don't put ing on them.
Stative verbs? You mean like verbs that describe a state, not an action?
Exactly. Things like feelings, thoughts, ownership, senses. Verbs like know, believe, want, hate, own, understand.
So I can't say, I am knowing the answer?
Right. That would sound wrong to a native speaker. We just say, I know the answer.
Oh, interesting. What about want? Can I say, I am wanting a coffee?
That one sounds unnatural too. We simply say, I want a coffee.
Wow, I think I've made this mistake before without even knowing it.
Don't worry. Almost every learner makes this mistake at some point. Even I remember hearing learners say things like, I am loving this, which actually comes from advertising slang, not really standard grammar.
Oh, like that old fast food slogan, I'm loving it?
Exactly. That's a famous exception used for marketing style. But in everyday grammar, we usually just say, I love this.
Okay, that's such a good point. So the rule is feelings and thoughts usually skip the ing, right?
Yes, that's the golden rule. If it's a state, not an action, avoid the continuous form.
Wait, May, I actually just remembered something. My friend once said, you are always losing your keys. Is that present continuous too?
Oh, yes, great catch. That's actually a fun, special use of this tense. We use always with present continuous to talk about habits that annoy us or surprise us.
Wait, really? So it's not just about right now, it's about complaining?
Kind of, yes. Think about it like this. He always forgets his umbrella is just a normal fact, but he is always forgetting his umbrella sounds a little frustrated, like you're rolling your eyes a bit.
Oh, wow. So the tone completely changes just by adding ing?
Exactly. It adds emotion, like a little sigh built right into the grammar. For example, my neighbor is always playing loud music at night.
That sounds like a real complaint. I can literally feel your frustration in that sentence.
Exactly. That's the power of this tense. It's not just facts, it can carry feelings too.
I love that, May. English really is full of little emotional details, isn't it?
It really is, Jay. That's what makes it so fun to explore, one small pattern at a time.
Okay, can we talk about negative sentences and questions too, or is that too much for one episode?
No, that's perfect timing, actually. Let's cover it because it's actually really simple once you understand the positive form.
Okay, tell me.
For negative sentences, you just add not after am, is, or are. For example, I am not sleeping. She is not working today. They are not coming.
Oh, that's easy. What about questions?
Even easier. You just move the am, is, or are to the front. Are you sleeping? Is she working today? Are they coming?
Wait, that's it? Just swap the order?
That's it. English question formation with this tense is actually one of the friendliest structures for beginners.
Okay, I want to try making my own sentence. Can I try?
Please, go ahead.
Right now, I am talking to May, and I am learning English. How was that?
That was perfect, Jay. And it's true, too, because that's literally what's happening right now.
Yes. Okay, I want to imagine a scenario now. Can we do that?
Sure, let's do it together.
Okay, imagine you're texting a friend and they ask, "What are you doing?"
Okay, I'm imagining it.
What would you type back?
I would probably say something like, I am cooking dinner right now. Can I call you later?
Oh, that's such a normal, everyday text message.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of this tense. It's not just classroom grammar, it's literally how people text, chat, and talk every single day.
You know, I think that's what makes this tense feel so alive compared to other grammar rules.
I completely agree. It connects directly to real moments in our lives.
Okay, can we do a quick fun round? Like you give me a sentence and I tell you if it's correct or not?
I love that idea. Let's do it.
Okay, here's one. She is knowing my brother very well.
What do you think?
I think that's wrong because know is a stative verb, right? So it should be, she knows my brother very well.
Yes, perfect. You're really getting this.
Okay, one more. We are meeting our clients tomorrow morning.
What do you think about that one?
I think that one is correct because it's a planned, fixed arrangement for the future.
Exactly right. You just explained the future use of present continuous perfectly without even needing my help.
I'm actually proud of myself right now.
You should be. This is exactly how learning should feel, natural and a little fun.
You know, May, I think the biggest lesson today is that this tense is way more useful than I originally thought.
I completely agree. It's not just for right now. It covers current actions, temporary situations, confirmed future plans, and even slow changes happening around us.
That's such a wide range for just one grammar tense.
Exactly. And once it becomes natural, you'll notice you're using it constantly in daily conversations, texts, and even thinking in English.
I love that. Okay, before we wrap up, can we do a quick recap for everyone?
Absolutely. Let's summarize it together for our listeners.
So, present continuous is am, is, are, plus a verb with ing.
We use it for actions happening right now, temporary situations, confirmed future plans, and gradual changes.
And we should avoid using ing with stative verbs like know, want, love, and believe.
Perfect summary, Jay. You explained that better than some textbooks I've read.
Thank you, May. We hope you enjoyed this session. Don't forget to like this video and share it with a friend who's also learning English.
And here's a little challenge for all of you listening right now. Try making 3 sentences using present continuous about your own life today.
You could talk about what you're doing this week or something that's slowly changing in your life these days.
Drop your sentences in the comments below. We would genuinely love to read them.
We really would. Seeing your progress is one of the best parts of making this podcast every single day.
Every day, that's right. We're always here with new topics to help you grow your English confidence.
So, what's happening in your life right now? Tell us in the comments below.
We can't wait to read your answers, everyone.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
See you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye, take care, and keep speaking English with confidence.